Good morning. This is John Pella with Senior Enrollment Solutions. You are tuned in to the 2022 22-week roadmap to success. This morning, it is August 5th. We are discussing product knowledge, getting over the fear. We do things in this world for two things, love or fear, right? So understanding the fear and making that fear turn into love of offering additional product lines, offering additional products to your consumers, and simply getting over the fear of asking the question if I have the ability to help you. So good morning. It is 10 o'clock. Without further ado, we're going to begin. To respect everyone's time, we will be hosting webinars from 10 to 11 every Friday throughout the summer leading up to the annual enrollment period. All these videos will be found on YouTube as well on the SES Agent YouTube channel. So if you missed last week, we'll review briefly. Go back, watch the video. Stay tuned for next week, and we'll go through additional product knowledge as we once again build up your revenue and career leading up to 2023 and this annual enrollment period. So the difference between fear and excitement is the way that you think about it, right? There is that fine line. That's why there's water parks and roller coasters and bungee jumping, and it's that adrenaline that's part of the sales aspect, is that adrenaline of the sale. But you have to get over the fear of asking for the sale and the fear of the product knowledge of being able to offer the right product to your consumer. And then the excitement truly comes into play once that ink is dried or the application submitted or you've completed it online. Getting over that fear is so important to help you build your revenue, to help you build that book of business. So continuing on, first and foremost, quick disclaimer. We all understand that by going through this 22 week, many of you have been tuned in every week, which is great to see the amount of knowledge and questions that are coming about, but this will certainly launch your business to another level. We're going to review your topics and bring you back to Sales 101. This has nothing to do with Medicare, life, annuity, health insurance, or retirement benefits. This is sales. And understanding the whole psychology of the sale is incredibly important. Obviously, afterwards, we'll provide additional time for Q&A and request additional topics, right? If there's something that you feel as though we haven't covered or that others may wish to know, please text us. We're here 24/7 for you. Shoot me an email, put it in the chat box down below. We'll come back to it the next week or throughout this 22-week training process. So last week, we went through marketing, whether or not you're paying for it, either a radio commercial, a TV ad, what have you, social media ads, or whether or not you're using your time for that free marketing, putting up flyers at your local laundromats or getting to know the barbershops in your area for them to refer you out, getting to work with an Oak Street Health or a ChenMed, GenCare, Dedicated, whatever it may be. You are either going to be spending your time or your money on your marketing. And so once again, if you have questions, please go back and review last week's marketing, where we discussed all of your marketing tactics and how to be able to market to the right consumer. There are different forms of marketing, right, that will provide different rates of return, and you should be tracking your book of business and your rate of return on each level of marketing that you are doing. Whether or not it's free, where it's only costing you 80 cents to print a flyer and put it up at the laundromat, that's still your time. So how many can you do in an hour? Adjust that for auto maintenance or gas or being out in the field. Just your time itself is valuable. Market through multiple streams. It's so important to make sure that you have different avenues going out. My suggestion or my thought process was that you opened a storefront, right? And if you opened a storefront and they had construction right outside your door, how are you going to continue to market to consumers if they can't find your entrance where they have to pull in the backside of your building because the road's under construction, which you may hear throughout this webinar? So keep that in mind on having multiple streams of revenue. So your homework last week was to review your income, right? What desired income are you looking for? I want to make $100,000. I want to make $250,000. I'm happy making $50,000. Whatever it is, let's work that income backwards. Let's understand how many leads do you need compared to how many sales you're going to make compared to what your revenue stream is. And then we can back out the cost of all of that marketing that led you up to that revenue to go from gross to net, right? Very important that you recognize this. But what's the revenue stream? How many applications? How much business or what revenue dollar amount are you looking to make off of your sales? And in doing so, how can we help you obtain that revenue in a realistic goal fashion, right? By creating a marketing plan and getting all of that marketing approved and printed. So as it is August 5th, it's very important that we start recognizing that if you're looking to get anything CMS approved, it's now taking about a week to 10 days time. We'd be happy to help you create a trifold or a flyer or a table tent or whatever it is that you're looking to leave behind at a diner or pin up on a cork board. We'll help you create that. We'll help you get it approved. But there is a time crunch going on here where we really need to have our marketing materials en route or in mail no later than September 15th to land on or around that October 1st date, where we can then begin to have that pre-enrollment AEP time period to assist those consumers. Client retention. The more policies you write with the client, the longer your retention. It's just simple math. You get up to 5 policies with a consumer, they are yours for life. And that's certainly something to think about. If you're offering a Medicare Advantage plan, do they have a hospital indemnity plan? Do they have a cancer plan? Do they have an additional dental, vision, or hearing plan? Do they have an at-home care plan? Do they have a final expense policy or a life insurance policy? It's the importance of being able to bundle multiple different product lines to be able to keep that consumer on your books for the long haul. When they have 5 policies with you, they're not just going to drop one because it may affect the others, and they have to phone you first. If you only write the consumer one policy, you're at a food pantry or a soup drive or whatever, right? And you're only writing just that one Medicare Advantage plan. I'm telling you, you're missing the boat. The consumer has no thought of you again. Now, granted, some of these D-SNP consumers, I understand we may not have the capability of writing additional policies to them, but that can go into a whole nother conversation where we're assisting them with their flex card, or we're setting their bills up to help them have their bills paid on a monthly basis. We're doing other things that can really help offset us as an agent compared to the call center agent or the agent that the consumer may phone by watching some NFL Hall of Famer on TV. More referrals. The longer you're able to keep a client, the more referrals they will simply provide you. Now, here's a really crazy fact that after a few decades in this industry, I've begun to truly believe that life agents, only 3% of you write annuities. Annuity agents, only 3% of you will write a life insurance policy. Your MedSup agents, they don't write Medicare Advantage plans. And your Medicare Advantage plan agents, they are unable to discuss or really get through that Medicare supplement and standalone prescription drug plan. Only 3% of MedSup agents write Medicare Advantage plans and do so well, okay? We're talking about holding that fiduciary approach, having enough carriers in your portfolio where you're not just selling a blue and a green or a green and a purple to every single consumer that you come across, right? Being able to run their meds, run their physicians, and truly know that this is the right fit for them. To be able to discuss dental, vision, and hearing plans, or to be able to discuss the long-term care, the cancer, the hospital indemnity plans, to be able to really package the entire retirement benefit package that your consumer's looking for from an agent that they're looking for. Be that agent. Because otherwise, I assure you, if you leave any of this off the table, your consumer is going to look for these benefits somewhere else. And if they find that agent that's well versed in being able to offer all of these product lines to your consumer is going to dump you like a bad habit. And that becomes a problem. You're missing out on the free marketing. You're missing out on that referral sprawl that every consumer is willing to provide to you, especially in this age bracket. You're missing out on that by just simply slinging that one policy, by only selling that fixed annuity and having the seminars, and you come in and talk and it's fixed annuity, fixed annuity. Start discussing a whole life policy. Start discussing a different means of avenue for retirement growth, right? Some of these carriers have guaranteed interest rates on their term policies or their whole life policies. Some of these carriers offer critical illness built into their policies on the life insurance or annuity side, or long-term care built in. So if you're not well versed on these other product lines, then you're going to hurt your consumer. If you're out writing a Medicare Advantage plan to someone who's on Remicade or some kind of infusion, they should be on a Medicare supplemental plan because they're paying $190 a month to be on your Medicare Advantage plan due to the Part B drugs. You need to be well versed with this to truly help your community and someone's loved one with their level of care. I beg of you, start becoming part of that 3%. Learn to be part of the 3% club. It doesn't take much. Couple questions, couple YouTube videos, right? Tune into the SES Agents channel. I'm sure we have videos that discuss fixed annuities or whole life policies or final expense plans, hospital indemnity plans. Start slowly bringing these policies into your forefront. Leave the carrier aside. It doesn't matter who the carrier is. Just understand the premise, the basics of the policy itself. And at that point in time, you'll be able to be comfortable in communicating that style of insurance with your consumer. Then you can come back to us. I have this consumer, this is who they are, and we can help you find the right carrier to fit that consumer's needs. Hopefully that makes sense, right? We're not looking at carrier A, B, C, or carrier D. We're just discussing an overview to be able to have those prying questions to ask your consumer to build the level of interest and to provide me enough information, or you as the agent enough information to be able to come back to the consumer saying, look, these are my findings and this is why I'm suggesting this. Afterwards, we can become comfortable in using those carrier platforms. Initially, obviously, starting with the SES quoting engine would be a great location to be able to run your med sup rates. Find carriers that you may not currently have in your portfolio. Rely on the SES back office. We have a whole staff here 24/7 to assist you and support you with all of your questions. All you need to do is ask the consumer, do you have money in a CD? When does it come to fruition, right? Do you currently have Medicare? Do you currently have a child that needs health insurance, or whatever that prying question may be? You need to ask those probing questions to understand each particular consumer situation, to find those 5 products in order to help them and keep them for life as a consumer. Learn where to find your answers, and simply refer your clients. If you cannot find the answers, if you're choosing not to write an annuity, or not to write life insurance, or not to write Medicare Advantage, or not to write Medicare Supplement, refer them over to us. SES will still compensate you on that book of business. All we're after is that referral and helping that consumer find the right plan that will help keep your renewals and your longevity with that consumer as well. Your Medicare Advantage plan agents, it is so easy to sell med supp plans. It really is. Most of your plans, most of your carriers are just in time, meaning you can literally go out, write a med supp plan, we'll help provide you the application, you get the consumer to sign it, and we'll submit the application and your contract down to the carrier at the exact same time. Most of your carriers are just in time. Medicare supplemental plans are all standardized. They're all exactly the same, and they're given a letter of the alphabet to not confuse the consumer. So a plan G is a plan G is a plan G. It doesn't matter the carrier. What you're after as an agent is providing the consumer the lowest monthly premium with the highest rated insurance provider. You can find both on the SCS agent quoting engine. So if you are a Medicare Advantage plan agent and you primarily are assisting either the dual eligible population or the low income population with a Medicare Advantage plan, you will run across consumers with Part B drugs. You will run across consumers that a Medicare supplemental plan will be the right fit for them. It is very easy to quote and to understand the differences of your med supp plans, get over the fear, and help that consumer with a Medicare supplemental plan. It will be in their best interest. We can work on the prescription drug side here in a moment, but just understanding that all your med supp plans are exactly the same. Finding the carrier is easy. It's all on the SCS agent quoting engine. You just need to hop on, find the least expensive one or two carriers, and help the consumer get enrolled with a policy. Most carriers, once again, are just in time. It means that you can contract and submit your application at the exact same time. You can literally go out and write that carrier prior to being contracted. Utilizing the SCS MedSup quoting engine, that is your most transparent way of running rates. We will help provide you all of the carriers, not necessarily just the ones that some uplines are contracted with, or some contract or some quoting engines are only able to offer because of their size. We have not only the regional, but also the national players, and all of the new carriers that are coming into market are always on the SCS MedSup quoting engine. So note that some MedSup clients typically need a Part D, right? Which requires your AHIP and certification. So if you are a life insurance agent that's tuned in and you're looking to offer Medicare supplements, or you're a PNC agent that's tuned in wanting to offer Medicare because you continuously keep getting asked, you can offer the Medicare supplemental side, but there is that prescription drug, that Part D factor that goes into this, that you may either want to refer the client to Medicare.gov, or you may wish to pick up your national test, either your Pinpoint, your AHIP, your NAHU, and get certified with 2 or 3 different carriers to offer that prescription drugs. Now, I will tell you, as we go into the upcoming webinars, that the prescription drug plans, we all know it doesn't pay very high commissions. It doesn't. But it's a great way to stay in touch with your consumer on an annual basis. And it is the most confusing part to Medicare when you're discussing Medicare supplemental plans. That is where you receive all of your referrals are on the confusion of the Part D or the prescription drug plan. Once you receive the referral for the prescription drug, it opens the door to now sell them 4 other products, including a Medicare supplemental plan. So keep that in mind. Do not fear or stray away from the prescription drug side of things. It is a referral sprawl as an agent base goes. Your MedSup quoting engine, we do provide you, it's in the second dark blue line, there's a small little print area. We do provide you the capability of printing this, where you can physically either print it off on a sheet of paper and present it to your consumer at their kitchen table, or you can print it off and email it to your consumer. We provide the capability of either having 5 quotes per page or up to 50 quotes per page. It's entirely up to you. And if you do wish to clean this up slightly, right, you can see the SBLI has a preferred standard. You can X out of whatever that consumer may or may not qualify for. And if it is an underwritten consumer, certainly do the same, right? If they're a diabetic, I'm pulling certain carriers off that I know are not going to accept them. So keep that in mind with the quoting engine, that you do have capability of emailing, printing, sharing with that consumer that I am a fiduciary, and I don't care which plan you purchase, I'm going to present all of them to you. Your MAPD sales. Many of you that are P&C agents, property and casualty, or life insurance agents, you don't want to do your AHIP. You don't want to have to certify nationally in order to keep your renewals, etc. Completely understood. So, United Healthcare. United Health does not require your AHIP. You can offer this carrier by taking their own certifications, and that would allow for you to offer Medicare Advantage, prescription drugs, and Medicare supplemental plans to your consumer. Any other agents must complete certifications, and obviously you have to be ready to sell. Medicare Advantage plans are not just in time. You must be contracted and certified in order to offer coverage to your consumer or even discuss those plans. Don't lose out on additional revenue from the fear of compliance. Medicare Advantage is a very highly compliant industry. Follow the 3 steps, right? First and foremost, we're always going to look at the consumer's known costs, which primarily would be their prescription drugs, right? What are the total costs, the premium, deductible, and copayments, if any? What's the total cost for their prescription drug plan, including the medications? We're then going to look at the network to make sure that their physician, their primary care, their radiologist, their dermatologist, their whomever is in network. And then lastly, we're going to go through the value-added benefits. I personally don't discuss all of the value-added benefits. I'm not going to go through hearing with a 28-year-old that doesn't need hearing. I'll touch on it briefly, but I'm not going to discuss the $1,000 per ear, 1 ear per year. No, pick 2. Your consumer on a Medicare Advantage plan is going to have 2 hot buttons. Dental, I can pretty much assure you, is going to be one of them. The other is going to be either the over-the-counter or their vision or the transportation, maybe the PAPA or the at-home meals. Because of COVID, that's been a huge concern, right? What if I'm hospitalized? What's going to happen to me? Who's going to take care of me once I'm discharged? So reviewing and understanding those value-added benefits, knowing that realistically there's 6 of them. I mean, you can include gym memberships and blah, 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 right? All above and beyond. But there's really 2 that your consumer is going to want built in or need at that point in time in their lives. So many MedSup clients have family who need a Medicare Advantage plan. Think about your own family. How many of you graduated college? How many of you graduated high school? Do you all have the same financial stability? The answer most likely is no. And especially when we're discussing individuals over 65, they may end up having a child that's a dual eligible plan. They have a sibling that was a VA, even better, right? So we have these give back plans that pay back on their Social Security and provides them additional benefits. And oftentimes they're in a skilled nursing or a home somewhere where your MedSup agent can discuss their needs or has power of attorney with them. And you can now pick up another sale without having to really talk to anyone new. You're just helping that power of attorney help their sibling who was a VA, right? So important to be well versed. If you are offering Medicare, you should be able to walk the fence and be able to describe the pros and cons of a Medicare Advantage, the pros and cons of a Medicare supplement, and not care which side your consumer picks. You obviously have a lot of influence with that. And that's really important. Once again, going back to the Part B medications, the infusions will catch up with these Medicare Advantage plan consumers. And if they currently are aging in or they have an extra trial right, it may be something to discuss with them to enroll them into a Medicare supplemental plan. Annuity agents, so easy to write life insurance. We have a questionnaire. You can find it right online. With that questionnaire, you would just simply have your consumer fill it out, email it to them, fill it out at the kitchen table, and then send it to us. We'll run all of the rates, we'll phone the underwriters, and we'll come up with an accurate price for the life insurance that your consumers are looking to have. Once again, we're here to help you every step of the way. We have direct contracts, specifically with AIG Direct, that has a built-in living benefit rider. So there are riders, critical illness riders, that you are able to attach to life insurance policies. Pekin, for instance, pays a guaranteed 4% rate of return on their whole life products currently. There are ways of generating that additional revenue stream for your consumer. And once again, as an annuity agent, I'm assuming you understand the money in, money out, right? That it's not taxed now, but you may be burning a consumer down the road when their tax liability changes because their home's paid off, their kids are out of the house, and now they're wanting to draw off this annuity. It may have been a better tax vehicle or retirement vehicle to offer them a whole life policy with a guaranteed fixed interest rate, the same as what the annuity is that you would be offering to them. So I ask of you to start looking at the life insurance products now that are available in the marketplace. They are underwritten. I understand that. But if you are helping this age bracket of, call it 45 to 65-year-old consumers, many of them are able to obtain a life insurance policy where they are not taxed on the funds down the road. They're not penalized on pulling the funds out if needed, and they do receive that guaranteed rate of return. So it's so important as an annuity agent to begin to think about, to begin to have in their portfolio a few life insurance policies, or at least the ability to gather your consumer information, get it over to us. We'll provide you with all the rates and carriers for that particular consumer. All you need to do is be a fact gatherer, and we'll find the information that you're looking for. Life agents, begin to offer annuities. They are so easy. They're not underwritten, so that's a blessing. You do need to understand, once again, the tax ramifications. We have an annuity questionnaire. All you need to do is simply fill it out. Let us know what vehicle, how much money your consumer is looking to put in, how much money they're looking to take out, and really how long they're okay with not touching that annuity until it comes to fruition. Simply fill out the annuity questionnaire, send it to SES. We'll help provide you the correct annuity in regards to the rates, the amount of funding coming back, and how long they may need to wait in order to begin receiving that annuity payment within retirement. Annuity education is required at state and carrier level. So some of these carriers offer 8, 10, 12 annuities. You would need to certify with that carrier. The good news is you can go out and discuss an annuity and complete the certification that day to be able to sell or offer that annuity the following day. So if you are living in a state that requires additional annuity education, please reach out. We'll help you get certified. If you are looking to offer annuities, there's a few steps here. The first is gather the information that's needed so we can help you run the annuity rates. And then once we run the annuity rates and find the carrier that's going to best suit your consumer's needs, then we can help you get certified through that carrier to offer that annuity. Dental, vision, hearing plans. A health license is required. I believe pretty much everyone on has a health license. There's no additional certifications needed. Most of them have a PURL that you can build right into your website or add on to the bottom of your email signature. Offer NCD Dental, offer a surety, or offer Emeritus, or offer whomever in your email signature and your thank you back to your consumer. It is a must have for almost every consumer. We all have teeth. We all need dental of some kind. Now, I understand that with a lot of these Medicare Advantage plans, they include dental in the plan itself. That may not be enough. Your consumer may need additional dental work done. If it's a MedSup consumer, forget about it, right? We know that there's only a few carriers that offer dental add-ons to the MedSup plan. There are a few. If you don't know who they are, certainly reach out. But that dental sell on is so easy just to increase your revenue a little bit, but more importantly, it increases the amount of applications that consumer has with me, which once again increases my referrals, which once again increases the longevity that I have with that consumer. It is all about the retention and the referrals, not necessarily about making the extra 30 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever it may be. Same with your hospital indemnity, your cancer and your long-term care plans. Long-term care is kind of a dying breed in the marketplace. There's not too many carriers offering it any longer because once again, it's built into your life insurance policies and sometimes even your annuity policies. Your hospital indemnity plan, it should be discussed with every single Medicare Advantage plan sale. Every single Medicare Advantage plan sale should have at least a 50-second discussion on what a hospital indemnity plan is. Simply ask the question, do you know anyone who's ever had cancer, right? And build that into a hospital indemnity plan, or offer that consumer a standalone cancer plan or even a bundled plan, right? Some of these carriers are offering 9, 10 different health issues where if you have a benign brain tumor, end-stage renal kidney disease, a heart attack, stroke, cancer, right? Not melanoma, but severe life-threatening cancer, that they'll actually pay you. So some of them are bundled, some of them are specific where it's cancer only. Many of your hospital indemnity plans, they build in the opportunity for you to offer a cancer buy-up, if you will, $10,000 to $50,000 of additional cancer benefit in the event that your consumer has cancer. For you MedSup agents, discuss the hospital indemnity plan. I get it. Their bills are covered medically. Medically, the bills are covered. I understand that. However, who's cleaning their home? Who's walking their dog? Who's mowing their grass? What if the nearest hospital to them, because most of your MedSups are sold in rural areas, right? What if the closest hospital is 45 minutes away and their spouse is 85 years old? Don't they want to put their spouse up in a hotel near the hospital? Don't they want to be able to have their spouse get food and not affect them financially? These hospital indemnity plans are great fits for the MedSup policies. What if their daughter lives 8 states away and they want to fly their daughter in to be with them while they're hospitalized and not have the daughter incur additional expenses or the child incur additional expenses? These hospital indemnity plans are so inexpensive and can provide such an immense value to keep the family unit strong during that time of crisis. Do not overlook offering Medicare Advantage plans to, or do not overlook offering hospital indemnity plans to your Medicare supplement consumers. So important to keep that in mind. There are additional expenses above and beyond just their medical bills if they're in the hospital for 3 or 4 weeks. Carrier training. There are emails constantly coming out this time of year with carrier trainings. Not only on the Medicare Advantage certifications, get prepared for 2023, first looks, etc. I grasp that. But keep an eye on all of the carrier emails that are coming out. They list dates. Most of them are on webinars. You could literally just plug in your car if you're driving to an appointment, or you can half listen if you're getting your book of business organized for AEP. But hop on these carrier trainings and begin to really understand these product lines, not the carriers, the product lines, what it can do to help your consumer in the event they have a crisis, in the event they actually need to use the product that you sold them. So make sure that the product that you're selling them is going to give them everything they need, because the last thing you want is a phone call from your consumer saying, hey, why didn't you even talk to me about this? I can't believe that I have cancer and this plan doesn't cover. Make sure that you bring it up in conversation. And that's part of digging, and that's part of getting over the fear to make certain that you're offering enough products, not carriers, enough products to your consumer to build that lifelong relationship with them, to have them refer others to you. To recap, begin conversations with clients on any topic. I don't give a damn what it is. Even if not fully versed, just start asking the questions. Do you happen to have any money sitting in a CD? When does the CD come to fruition? Do you know when that's going to be? How much money is in that CD? Do you know of anyone that passed away or had cancer in their life? What if you were hospitalized for 3 weeks? Would you need additional funds? Instead of just having your medical bills be paid, would it be helpful to have maybe $350 a day coming in while you're hospitalized for a week or two? You get where I'm going. I'm just prying and trying to weave my way through each consumer's situation to find the right plans to help them. Gather information on the SES questionnaires, either the annuity questionnaire, the life insurance questionnaire. Gather the information, and that's all you need to do. Get it in our hands. We'll help you sell the product, and then you go get paid, right? We'll help you contract, certify, whatever needs to happen. But initially, you as a sales agent, while sitting in front of that consumer, you have the one and only opportunity to pry and pry and pry some more. Do you need additional dental work done? Would you like an implant? Would that be helpful to you? Ask and ask and ask and ask and ask the questions. Most products are just-in-time contracting with no additional certifications or CE requirements, right? So when you take the Medicare Advantage prescription drug side out of the health insurance industry, you can go offer annuities. You can offer life insurance, dental, vision, hearing plans, cancer plans, at-home plans, final expense policies. It doesn't require any additional certifications. It does require you obtaining the knowledge to be able to ask the questions and have some general ability to respond to your consumer. Your homework, I want you to create 5 prying questions, 5, for each product line. Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, life insurance, annuity, dental, vision, hearing, cancer, long-term care. You can bundle all that together, hospital indemnity, etc. Begin your questions with, are you concerned about? Have you thought of? Will you be needing? Do you have a budget for? How important is this to you? Is it important enough to be spending money on, right? And if it is, wonderful. And if it's not, then let's move on to something else that is important to you. Going back to the 28-year-old and the hearing, once again, I'm not going to be discussing hearing with someone who's 28 years of age, right? But if it is someone who's older and I see that they have a hearing aid, we're going to be discussing hearing. It's certainly important to them. Write out your prying questions. Put them on a 5x8 card or a sheet of paper, whatever you need to do, and start memorizing them. And when you're at the grocery store, you could turn around and even ask someone, non-Medicare, right? You can't approach on the Medicare side, but you could ask someone, hey, I'm just curious, do you have a local dentist? I do. Well, And now the questions and the prying begins, right? How do you like them? Do you need any additional dental work done? I happen to offer dental insurance. And then you may have no idea what comes out of that conversation, but you have to be able to have the ability to get over the fear of talking to others and over the fear of being able to communicate to others exactly what it is that I do and the knowledge base that I have to help you with your situation. Once again, I'm John Fallett. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Friday to you. We'll be on next week and following weeks leading up to AEP. Once again, if you've missed any prior webinars, certainly hit up the SES Agent YouTube channel. If I missed anything, if you feel as though my 3% is wrong, tell me why. I would love to hear it. Leave your comments down below in the YouTube area, or enter it in the chat area if you do have comments or questions that you'd like us to cover at this point in time. Once again, we're here 24/7. There's our text line, or you can phone us directly or email us at agentservices@seniorenrollmentsolutions.com. Without any other questions, I'm going to log off and I'll talk to you all shortly.